Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial we are working on our matching pillow for the Orchid Blossom Baby Blanket. So let's talk about what you're going to need. You are going to need a 14 by 20 travel pillow. I got mine from Walmart. Now mine was really stuffed, really packed full of stuffing. So what I actually did was I just cut up one side just a little bit, got my hand in there, pulled out some of that stuffing, and then just used my sewing machine to sew it back up. Don't have to do that. I just chose to because I wanted mine to be a little like if you can imagine like a baby laying its head in the pillow. See how, the baby lays its head and then it kind of stays. Like mine was so stuffed up like it wouldn't stay, so that's why I did it. Anyhow, you don't have to do that. Not necessary. You are going to need a 6mm hook, scissors, your yarn needle, stitch markers if you decide to. Don't have to. Now, let's talk about our yarn. Alrighty, so the yarn I used, I got this from Hirschner's. It's a Hirschner's worsted 8. It's 100% acrylic. This is the color Eggplant. There are 489 yards in each skein. And would you believe these 4 skeins, I had enough to do the baby blanket and the pillow, and I still have some left over. Which, that's crazy to me. Anyhow, so this is Eggplant. This is Orchid. This is Jade. Focus right here. Jade. And this is Glacier. And you can tell I followed the same pattern as the baby blanket. I did Orchid, Jade, or I'm sorry, Eggplant, Jade, Orchid, Glacier. Eggplant, Jade, Orchid, Glacier. So, yeah, making sure I didn't mess that up. So, and you're going to need 1 skein of each color or leftovers from your baby blanket. And as I said in the baby blanket tutorial, the stitch pattern, or the stitch multiple, I should say, is 10 plus 7. So you can definitely easily get this the pillow cover to fit any pillow, but just by adding 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then add your 7 at the end, and it'll fit however you want it to. Okay, what else do I need to tell you guys? I think that's it. I'm ready to get started. Let's do this. Okay, so for my pillow, I'm going to need a chain of 67. And like I said at the beginning, since I cut it and pulled some of the stuffing out, now it's a little flatter. My chain of 67, I want to reach from one side to the other. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my chain started, making sure I leave enough to weave in the ends. So I'm going to get my chain started and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back and I've got my chain of 67 done. So now I'm going to take my pillow. This is semi-honking. I'm going to lay my first chain right on the side right here. And I'm going to bring this across right to that other side. See how it fits nice and neat? Plus, this is going to have a little give. And that's what we want, because whenever we single crochet it together and then turn it inside out, it's going to be a nice pretty fit. So we've got our chain of 67. Yours may be, actually yours should be pretty close if you have the same size pillow as me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start our pattern, which for row 1 is single crochet into the second chain from hook. That's our first. And then single crochet into the next chain. Now we skip 1, 2, 3, and 7 double crochet into the next chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm off camera, holy cow, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so now we're going to skip 3. Don't forget the little one right here that's a little cockeyed from our work in our 7 double crochet. But if we turn it sideways, he's right there. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to single crochet into the next chain and into the next 2 chains. So it should be looking like this. And we're just going to repeat that. Skip 3, 7 double crochet into the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I need to move my camera. I am way off camera here. There. Okay, so we worked our 7, skip 3, single crochet into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Skip 3, 1, 2, 3, 7 double crochet into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, scooch that, 6, and 7. Skip 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next 3. So go ahead and repeat the 7 double crochet, skip 3, single crochet into the next 3, skip 3, 7 double crochet, skip 3, 3 double crochet. Repeat that all the way to the end of your chain, and I will meet you guys at the end of mine. All right, I've made it to the end. I bumped my camera. And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. We're going to skip 3 and work 4 double crochet into the last chain. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this on my pillow, because after you work your pattern, it does shrink a little bit. It's still a good fit, so we're in luck. All right, so at the end of row 1, we're going to change colors. So we're going to chain 1, pull up a loop so we can weave in our ends, snip, pull that through, pull that last chain 1 tight. Get my pillow out of your guys' way. All right, and now we're going to go on to the next color, which is, all right, our next color is the jade. So to start row 2, we're going to start with a slip knot. Get that on our hook. Make sure you have a tail so you can weave it in. And right into that last stitch, we're going to attach our new color with a slip stitch. Right in there. And we're going to chain 1. Tighten that slip stitch a little bit. Chain 1, and now we're going to turn. And row 2 starts with a single crochet in the first stitch, same one we attached to, and into the next stitch. Okay? And now we're going to chain 1 and work 7 double crochet together. So we're going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, pull it up to about the length of a double, yarn over, pull through. So that's 1. Pull it up a little bit. Pull through. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. So we should have 3, 6, 7, 8 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 8 and loosely chain 1. Now the reason we loosely chain 1 is because we're going to double crochet 7 double crochets into that in the next round. So we've got our chain 1 loose. Now what we're going to do is, if you look, the last of our 7 together, that last double crochet, we're going to go right into the middle of it. And to make sure that we, go straight through that middle, look at the top and you see the 2 loops, the 2, what's the word I want to say here? The 2 strands, I guess, right here is what we want to slip stitch right into, right through. So we're going to put our hook right through there, and make sure when you look at from the top, you've got 2 strands on there. And that's how you know you're right in through the middle, the center of that double crochet, just right straight through it. And now we're going to slip stitch into the same double crochet that the last of our 7 is into. We're going to go right into that purple and work a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet over the next 3 doubles. 2 and 3. Now we're going to chain 1 and start our 7 double crochet together over again. Yarn over, go in, pull up, pull through, yarn over, pull through, go in, pull it up, yarn over and pull through. So that's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. And here's 7. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 8, and loosely chain 1. Work our slip stitch in the side of our last one, making sure you got those 2 loops, and into the same one that it's coming from. Chain 1, and we're going to single over the next 3. I'm going to work that one more time with you guys. All right, so we're going to chain 1. That builds us up a little bit. Yarn over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yarn over, pull through all 8 of your loops, loosely chain 1. Now here's a little trick that I learned from messing up. When you're working the 7 double crochet together, that 5th double crochet always goes into the last single from the previous row. And you can also look at it as in, let's see, 5th, 4th, 3rd. The 3rd double crochet goes into the 1st single crochet of the previous row. And the reason I learned that is because I worked an entire row and noticed that my 7 double crochet together was offset like that. And I got done and I was like, what happened? Well, I had missed a stitch. So to always keep myself on track, and it doesn't have to be the third, or I mean the fifth into the third double or single crochet right there. It could be, you know, the third double goes into that first single. That's just how my mind works, is to just go into that third double crochet has the fifth double or that third single crochet has the fifth double crochet from our 7 together. And that's just how I kept myself on track. Okay, so we finished our 7. Slip stitch into the side. Make sure you got your 2 loops. Slip stitch into the same one the last one's coming from. Chain 1 and single over the last 3. 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and repeat this across. Let's see what row, yeah, row 2. I couldn't remember what row we were on. Repeat this across for row 2, and I'll meet you guys at the end. Okay, so I've come to the end of row 2. I worked my 3 singles, chain 1, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. So now we're going to work 4 double crochets together instead of the 7. So we're going to yarn over. There's 1, 2, 3, and into that last one is 4. So you have 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5, and loosely chain 1. And then we're going to chain again. So it's chain 2. And now we turn. So for row 3, we're going to work 4 double crochet right into that chain 1 that closed the 4 double crochet together. Right into that side right there. Yarn over. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop, use my stitch marker, and you can see that first one is facing right at us, right? So I'm going to go right in there, mark that, and I'm going to give it a little tug to pull it to the side. All right, now we're going to keep heading on. We're going to single crochet into the next 3 singles, which the backs are facing us. So the very first one is right here. 1, 2, and 3. Now don't get confused with this right here, because that's our slip stitch chain and our chain 1 right there, and then that single. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into the center of this 7 double crochet together and work 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, scooch that over, 6, and 7. And now we just go straight into the 3 singles. Remember, don't get confused with this part right here. So 1, 2, and 3. And that's what the repeat for this row is. 7 double in that center, and you can tell where your center is because the bottom of all of these double crochet togethers comes right together at that one point, right in there. So we got our 7 double crochet or single into the next 3 singles, 7 doubles, and so on and so forth, and I'll meet you at the end, okay? So get that done, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've come to the end of row 3, and we are going to work a double crochet or a single crochet into the last 2 stitches. So if we turn sideways, we can see this one and this one. Alrighty, now to finish row 3, we're going to change colors. So we're going to chain 1, pull up a loop, snip, pull that chain tight, and now we're going to change colors to is it Orchid? Yeah, Orchid. I couldn't remember the name of it. All right. So we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. Make sure you're leaving enough yarn to weave in, which that's a little sketchy. I'm going to go ahead and take it up a little bit. Put that on our hook. Now we're going to go right into that last stitch, and we're going to work a slip stitch, pulling our working yarn through and through that slip knot. All right, now we chain 1 and turn. Okay, so now we're on row 4. Row 4 starts with a double crochet into that very first stitch. And now we're going to work a 3 double crochet together over the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, go into the first stitch. There's 1, 2, and 3. 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Now we're going to work our side slip stitch, and then right into that base slip stitch. Chain 1, single crochet over the next 3. Now we're going to chain 1 and work our 7 double crochet together. So that's the repeat for row 4. Our 7 double together, chain 1 to loosely chain 1 to close, slip stitch on our sides, 3 single into the next 3 double. I'm going to go ahead and work this again with you guys. So here's our 7 double together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We got 8 loops. Yarn over, pull through our 8, loosely chain 1, slip stitch into the side, slip stitch into the base, chain 1, and work our 3 singles. 2 and 3. All right, so repeat that across, and I will meet you guys at the end. Okay, I've made it across to the end of row 4. I've worked my last 7 double crochet together, loosely chain 1. I'm going to slip stitch into the side, slip stitch into the base, right into that green one. And now we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into our last 2 stitches. 1, and 2. And that is the end of row 4. So row 5, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet into the first 2 stitches of the row. 1 and 2, and go right into our 7 double. 1 2, 3, 4, 5, scooch in, 6, and 7. Single crochet into our 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. And that is the repeat for row 5. Our 3 singles, 7 double, 3 single, 7 double, all the way across, and I'll meet you guys at the end of row 5. Okay, so I've made it to the end of row 5, and the last thing I did was work my 3 singles. And now what we're going to do is into this very last stitch, it's kind of turned a little right there, we're going to work 4 double crochet, and it is kind of a stretch to get it over there, but we're going to extend this first double. Pull that up a little bit, pull through 2, and there's our first double. And now we just do the remaining 3. 2, 3, and 4. And then when you lay it down, it looks nice and pretty. Okay, that's the end of row 5. And that is the end of our pattern repeat. What we're going to do to end row 5, so chain 1, and we change colors. And then we repeat 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just keep repeating that, and repeating that. So we've just finished row 5. So I'm going to start my new color, and I bumped my camera, I'm sorry. Which in this case is the Glacier. Yeah, the Glacier. Ooh, excuse me, I had to yawn. So I'm going to go ahead and start it just like we start each one. Each time we start a new color. Go into that stitch. Pull through and pull through. Tighten that down a little. So we chain 1 and turn, and we start row 2. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to repeat 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, changing color at the end of row 3 and 5. Okay? So I'm just going to repeat 2 through 5, changing colors at the end of row 3 and row 5. So I'm going to go from the eggplant to the jade to the orchid to the glacier at the end of rows 3 and 5. So go ahead and repeat that, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys how long I work this, because what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it all the way around our pillow, all the way around back to here, and then we're going to I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you guys how long that is for me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work this off camera, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've worked my pillowcase until it's roughly 28 inches. Now that's enough to wrap around my pillow, but you guys can work it as long as it needs to. And as you can see, I did not weave my ends in. I'm just going to hide them inside my pillow. But what we're going to do is we're going to fold this right in half, and all we're going to do is work a row of single crochet to this corner, down, put our pillow in on this side, and then on this pillow we're not going to turn it inside out because I like the way it looks on each side. But if you guys want a certain side to be what faces out, then go ahead and turn it opposite of that now, and then whenever you finish single crocheting around, then just turn it inside out, put your pillow in, single crochet it shut. But for us, we're going to work it like this. So I work the last stitch of my row 4, chained 1, and now I'm going to grab my end, and I'm going to turn it because remember we want to work two sides shut, right? We don't want to work one side and then have two sides open after we finish. So I'm just going to chain one and turn. My cats are fighting on my stairs. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to start single crocheting stitch for stitch on each side. Now on some parts, I am going to have to go through a hole, like right here. I'm just going to go straight through, and on the other side, I'm just going to go right in there. Now, I don't have any rhyme or reason for where I'm going. I'm just going to evenly space out single crochet across. Now, if you do too little, like you don't do enough single crochet across the top and the side for that matter to close it, it's going to bunch up like that, and we don't want that. Then if we work too many, it's going to start pulling out, right? So we got to keep it nice and even. So we're not going to pack a bunch in an area, and if we need to, we can just skip a couple. So I'm going to go in and just evenly space them out. Nothing fancy. So go ahead and evenly space out your single crochets and come back, like on the part I'm on right now, it works out stitch for stitch. Oop. My cat laid on this, so I got cat hair everywhere. But evenly space these out, and I'm going to meet you guys when we get to this corner. Okay, so I'm coming up to this corner, and I just wanted to show you guys, as I'm coming up to it, I'm holding these two corners together right here, and that's how I know that I'm coming out pretty even on each side, just going where my hook can go. Okay, so I'm going to call the corner here, which is hard to see because, I mean, we're in a, I think that's a double or 4 double together, and it looks like the side of a double. It's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go right into, so this is where my whole pillow cover started. I'm going to go right in there and find a good corner on this end. And I'm going to work 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to work 1 more in there. 4. Okay, so we're going to follow that same concept down this side. For me, I'm going to make sure these ends are tucked in pretty good. If you weaved in your ends, it's no big deal. It's probably better anyway. I just chose to take the lazy route. I was going to show you guys our new addition to our family, but he took off on me. Little buddy, kitty, 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 kitty. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Little buddy, come here. This is him. Say hi, little buddy. He is a butthead. Look up here. Look up here. He likes to attack everything, tear everything up. We just put our Christmas tree up, and he's had 4 or 5 balls strung across the living room and dining room. Okay. Say bye. Bye. Get out of here. Oh, I bumped my camera. Sorry. Okay, so back to this. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'm going to keep tucking these ends in, make sure they're out of the way. All right. So get my hook back on here. And I'm just going to keep working what we worked. Single crocheting down my sides where I can get in there. Nothing fancy. See how that turn looks nice and pretty now right there. Okay, so go ahead and single crochet down this end, and I will meet you guys down at this end where we're gonna fasten off. Okay, so I am coming to this corner. Now, if you didn't weave in your ends like I did, one way to really get that cleaned up is to go into the end that we haven't sewn shut yet and get in there and pull those tails, and they'll tuck right inside there. And then it cleans it up a little bit better. All right, hindsight 2020, I should have weaved them in. It's all right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up these last singles to my end. Now I'm gonna do the same that we did up here where we worked the 4 in this corner. So I already worked 1, there's 2, 3, 4. And I kind of just made this my corner. Now, after we finish this, okay, we can fasten off, come over here, single crochet this shut, and be done. But if you notice, this bottom isn't gonna have a purple edge around it like the rest of it does. So, right, so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna leave this for now. I'm just gonna let this hang out right here. And I'm gonna put my pillow in. Put my pillow in my case. Get it adjusted how I want it. Make sure your corners are filled with the corner of your pillow. And now we can see where this edge would be, right? So you can see it's pretty much on mine, it's this purple. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna do some overlay single crochets right across this purple. Oops, I just like threw my crochet hook. So this is going to be where we're going to work the single crochet overlay. So that way we have a purple border all the way around the pillow. Now the reason I put the pillow in before I just started, you know, just working the single crochets is because the pillow is, when you put the pillow in, it kind of shifts everything around. So what you think would be your corner could be offset and not be, you know, your bottom line right there. But I'm going to go ahead and take out my pillow now. Oops, I bumped my lights. And now I'm just going to single crochet across this purple. Now I'm not single crocheting 2 pieces shut, right? So I'm just going to go around stitches. This end's a little hard, so I'm going to get my finger in there. I'm just going to go around a double. He's back. All right, now we're off. It helps if you can get a finger in here. But like I'm just going right around the singles. Kind of like you're working a front post double, how the stitch work goes. All right, so there, if you can see, is how it's going to lay. All right. So I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm just working this along. Let's see. Skip a couple. Get a straight line. So basically what I did right there is worked around some of the doubles from the 7 doubles right there, just because I'm trying to make a straight line. And then I'm just going to go around each single. And around these doubles, you don't want to work around every single one because then it's going to warp up. See, like this right here, if I would have went around every single one, it would have had more of a rainbow right there. Okay, so go ahead and work your overlay across the purple, which, I mean, in my case, it's the purple, and come back. Okay, I've made it to this end. I've got 3 singles right here that I'm going to work around. 1, 2, and this last one I'm going to work the 4 for a turn. 1, 2, actually I'm not, I'm going to stop at 2 because we got to start working back to adding 2 panels together. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up a big old loop so I don't lose those stitches. And I'm going to slide my pillow in. So now we're going to single crochet the pillowcase shut around the pillow. Get in there. Again, make sure your corners are filled with the corner of your pillow. One good thing with this pattern is that the it has a lot of give to it. All right, it's looking pretty. Okay, so now comes the harder part. For me, working it on camera. For you, just doing it. Okay, so I've already got the 2 in my corner, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start working through both. So there's 3, you guys see, and 4. All right, so now we just single crochet along like we have, holding my pieces together so they stay lined up. All right, go ahead and work that. Squish your pillow in there a little bit more if you need to. Work that along this end, and I'm going to meet you guys at the beginning. Okay, guys, so I'm coming up to my end here, and I have a few more that I can work in here. So I'm going to go right here, get in there, and on this side, I'll go ahead and work another one in there. Okay, so now I'm going to slip stitch to that very first single we worked, chain 1, pull up a loop, find your scissors, cut, pull tight. Now I'm going to squish as much as I can, and I'm going to try to make sure I get all these corners filled. Squish it around. All right. get a needle real fast. So I'm going to weave in this end. I'm just going to go through a couple of stitches. Cut. And there we are. There's our pillow. I'm so excited. Let me get it set up for you guys. It's so pretty. I'm happy, happy, happy. All right. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And check out my description box. Got all kinds of goodies in there for you. And that is it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. I have a huge smile on my face because I love this. All right. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I appreciate all of you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.